This is Larry Rand. I'm a high-risk obstetrician, also known as a perinatologist. Let's start with some basic background information about a monochorionic twin pregnancy. So to start, let's look at a drawing of the uterus. In this drawing, your head is over to the left and your cervix is over to the right, which of course leads into the vagina and how babies are usually born. For the sake of simplicity, we'll go ahead and draw a placenta in the back, but really it can be anywhere. The uterus is a hollow sphere, and the placenta can implant anywhere inside that sphere. The placenta is like a big sponge that sticks to the inside of the uterus, and it acts as the interface between the babies and the mom. The mom sends her blood into this big sort of sponge, and the babies access the placenta by inserting their umbilical cords right into the placenta and then spreading out their blood vessels throughout it. This way they can get all the oxygen and nutrients that the mom's blood offers them in order to grow. The placenta is essential. It's the key to the baby's existence in the uterus. It's the only way they can get food and support. But what's very interesting is that a placenta is really meant to support one fetus. When a single placenta has to support two fetuses, anything can happen. There's no blueprint or map for how exactly that's supposed to happen, and every monochorionic placenta is different and is almost like a snowflake. So let's add some umbilical cords to this placenta. We'll put one in sort of in the central area and one off to the very edge or the margin. Think of the umbilical cord like a tree trunk that sort of sits in the soil, and then the roots are all the blood vessels that then form from that umbilical cord. So each baby's cord inserts into the placenta and spreads out its blood vessels like a network. The key problem in monochorionicity is just that there's one placenta. There's no separation between the fetuses or these blood vessel networks that they each make. Inevitably, in all monochorionic twins, some of the blood vessels will find each other and connect, thereby connecting the two circulations. So the first thing that's important about a monochorionic placenta is the fact that the blood vessels connect and allows one baby to transfuse blood to the other, and vice versa. And because they're identical and they have the same blood type, that's okay as long as they send the blood back and forth equally. 90% of the time, monochorionic twins do that well. 10% of the time, the blood vessels connect in a way that doesn't allow the blood to go back and forth equally. And that results in TTTS, or twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, and we'll talk about that separately. The second really interesting thing about monochorionic twins is how they share this placenta overall, which has more to do with their size and their weight and how they grow. For example, when we look at this placenta and one umbilical cord inserts near the center and the other at the margin, if you drew an imaginary equator between the two cords, you can very quickly see that one fetus really has only about a third of the placenta available to it, and the other fetus has 2/3 of the placenta available. This twin pair would end up having unequal sharing of the placenta, where one twin grows well and has everything available to it that it needs, but its twin will be smaller than it should be because it doesn't quite have all the resources it needs. We'll talk about this more in unequal placental sharing.